Keyboard snaps. The snap function in DraftIt allows you to connect to existing points on a drawing. Move the cursor over the existing geometry to find the points, such as end and midpoints, etc. In addition to this, keyboard snaps can help you quickly find these points. For example, position the cursor on a line and press the M key to find the midpoint of the entity, or E to find the nearest endpoint. You can see here, if we move the cursor past the middle point of the line and press E again, the snap jumps to the other end. The snap isn't selected until you click, just as it is normally. So here we will pick the midpoint by pressing M and then click the left mouse button. This is particularly useful as simply pressing the relevant key jumps to the required point, so you don't have to browse along an entity to find that point. So here we can press P to find the perpendicular snap along the line, then click to accept. We can also use T to find a tangency point. Another keyboard snap key is R, which allows us to define a relative position to another point, i.e. an XY or polar distance from that point. We will demonstrate this by creating the side view of our component. We need to draw a rectangle which is 25 mm to the right of the existing view. Simply position the cursor over the point to go relative to and press R. Now you can define the relative distance using the dynamic dimensions or by typing values into the input boxes. Click to accept the new position. Now press F8 to switch on XY input mode and simply drag the rectangle to the required size and then again click to accept. Now let's look at the X and Y keyboard snaps. Please note these are only available in the Plus, Pro and Architectural versions. We will select the line command to draw two lines to create the side view of the holes, i.e. in line with the circles as represented by the red lines below. The X and Y keyboard snaps allow us to grab the X value of one point and the Y value of another. First, we'll grab the X value of the endpoint at the top corner of the rectangle. Position over the point and press X, and you can see the dotted line showing the locked X value. Now we position over the quadrant point on the circle and press Y. You then see a second dotted line showing that the Y-axis is also locked. Click to accept to define the first line point. Because the XY input mode was the last one used, it is automatically recalled here. We now want to use snap mode again, so we now press F7. We can repeat this process for the other line end. So we can use X to grab the top right of the rectangle and Y on the quadrant of the circle. Again, click to accept this position. Finally, we can add the other line. You don't have to use the X snap first, so we will use the Y for the lower quadrant and then X to grab the start point of the last line, then click to accept. X and Y keyboard snaps define a single point in isolation, so you can use any other method to define the other end of the line. For example, we can use P for perpendicular.